Welcome to the 5th edition of Sailing the Solomons on our sailing catamaran Noosa. We left Leopari in perfectly calm conditions heading up the spectacular coast of Vella La Vella in pretty much no wind at all. I was trolling 2 fishing lines out the back of the boat when we had a double marlin hookup. What I thought was awesome as both marlin were tail walking across the water. They both looked at the look on Lisa's face and decided it was much safer for all 3 of us if they bailed. Once we were anchored up in Cocoloco Bay, we went ashore to speak to the chief to make sure it was okay to anchor where we were anchored. He was all cool with that and we were pretty much greeted by the whole village. The chief gave us a bit of a guided tour of the village. Then he and the school teacher asked us if we would come into the school the next day at 7 o'clock to attend the school and see the kids in action. As usual, we never say no to an opportunity like that. They don't come along that often, so we were good to go. As we were the first boat to anchor in this area in quite some time, we were definitely the centre of attention. And the first off was the inquisitive kids coming out, and then it was the adults to come out to do some trading. And pretty much as usual, they were chasing to trade fresh fruit and vegetables for predominantly clothing. There was a couple of people with newborn babies chasing some laundry detergent, and we had enough of that to go around. During the evening there was a lot of singing and music coming from the village, and unbeknown to us it was rehearsing for our visit the next day. We were greeted initially by the chief and then some young girls from the school and then pretty much the whole village in what was probably to become one of the real highlights of this trip to the Solomons. the chief spoke to the village and then asked me to speak to the village. But to be honest, after the experience we just had, I struggled to convey our true thoughts, as we're so humbled by the warm welcome we had received and the effort the village had put into welcoming us to the village. But I really struggled to convey our real thoughts, and my apologies for the lack of and poor quality footage that we got while we were here, because we were just enjoying the moment more so than trying to recapture it for later on. Scenery-wise, the Solomon Islands is spectacular, but the people, wow, the people are just amazing. They're such good people, warm, welcoming people, and these are people with very little material possessions, but they've pretty much just got everything. It's amazing that we can just turn up and anchor in somebody's backyard, pretty much knock on their door and be welcomed with such open arms. We were told by an expat Australian fella that the people of La Vella aren't very friendly, but that is totally the reverse of our experience in this amazing place. The local school teacher paddled out to the boat to give Lisa some flowers, and also asked if we could spare some clothes for a couple of kids who didn't have clothes to go to school. And the rules for the school are, if you don't have clothes, you can't go. So we were more than happy to help out there. We motor-sailed around the top of La Vella, and once we were anchored up, I went and chased up the chief, which wasn't easy to find. Now I eventually asked him, "Mate, can we anchor where we're anchored?" And he said, "No, come and anchor out the front of the village." And this was the start of a fantastic relationship we had with the village there. The diving is just the best we have ever done. It was just stunning. Big wall dives, magnificent coral, magnificent fish, and awesome people. It really is a special place. This was the only place in the Solomons where we didn't do formalised trading. We had such an abundance of fresh fruit and vegetables from Cocoloco Bay that on our arrival we took them ashore, and this created a different atmosphere where the village would bring some stuff out, we'd drop some stuff over, and it was very informal, but it did create a magnificent relationship with the village. The two chiefs there's two Kens, they're both chiefs, or theoretically they're both chiefs. They both call the other one Ken Chili and themselves Ken Sugar, because everyone likes sugar, but not everyone likes chili. They were just absolute characters, and it was just an absolute pleasure. And we ended up going back there 3 times to this area. We took Dad back there as well, because it was just, the diving was spectacular, the people are phenomenal. It's just a great area, very remote. Thanks very much for watching Sailing the Solomon's 5. As I say, this was a phenomenal area. We ended up going back there 3 times. We just enjoyed it so much. But in the next video we head over to Simbo Island. It's a volcano island.